Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna. If you haven't been here before, thank you for tuning in. If you've been here before, welcome back. So today I actually wanted to talk about infertility. I wanted to share my journey today on here because it is National Infertility Week. So I wanted to share a little bit about myself. Infertility is something that not too many people talk about, and it can be very, very isolating for some people. It's crazy because until you actually open up about it, there are many infertility communities out there to lean on to help you out get through all of this, because I know the struggle way too well. And my goal today is to be able to help someone out there who may be going through this whole situation, and to uplift them and give them strength, and to I'm gonna try to get through this video without crying. I hid this part of my life for a while. I just lived my life, and it's not a conversation that you can have naturally with someone and bring up. So it is very isolating, and I'm hoping that I can help someone out there, give them some type of strength to keep on going and don't stop. God will listen to your prayers. I know that there are a lot of people out there that are suffering with this situation, and I just want to let you guys know that you are not alone. There's many people out there you can talk to. You can talk to me. You can send me a message if you'd like. I will answer any questions. So before I get into details about my journey, I just want to let you know that people may not understand what goes on behind infertility. There are a lot of hormones and a lot of preparations on your body, injections, lots of ups and downs, and it's not just one day, it's months of emotional and physical things you endure on your body. So I want to get started with give you a quick synopsis about me and my husband. Me and my husband, we met in 2013. We got married in 2016, and also moved to New Jersey in 2016. We wanted to have 1 year of marriage just between us, just to concentrate on us and get our house together, because we had just moved to Jersey. So my husband and I started this journey, this conceiving journey, in June 2017. We tried on our own for about a year, but nothing had happened. I was really against going to a fertility doctor, because I just wasn't ready for that. I would always be like, God is gonna answer my prayers. And I know God is a faithful God. He does answer prayers. But in the back of my mind, I was like, you know what? Maybe I should get checked out. You never know. Maybe there's something wrong with me or him that going to a doctor may help. So I went to a fertility doctor in Voorhees. I don't want to mention any names, not for any reason. I just don't know if I'm really allowed to. So I went to a doctor in Voorhees. He was great, very nice, just very genuine. Loved him from the beginning. We talked about different things. I let him know from the beginning. I just wanted to get checked out, just to see if everything was running okay. So they sent me off for like at least like, I'm gonna say maybe 4 or 5 different tests, blood work, all kinds of different things, just to see if everything was running okay. And so they also sent my husband as well. A couple weeks later, I was diagnosed with unexplained infertility. Pretty much, unexplained infertility is there's nothing wrong with you. It's just not happening. So they gave me some options, some medication options, but at the time I wasn't comfortable with medication options. So I was like, no, can we try something less invasive? I was not ready for medication or none of that stuff. So the less invasive process was to do IUIs. If you guys don't know what IUIs is, it's intrauterine insemination. It's when they take the male sperm, they wash it in the lab, and what is good, they insert it into the female uterus. So we started that for the first time in August 2018. That was a fail. That didn't work out for us. That was August 7th. And then we tried another round of IUI on August 31st. So this is where my story starts to get a little bit crazy. On September 14th, I began to bleed, so I figured that was also a fail. I bled again September 25th, which was really odd for me. I never bleed twice in 1 month, especially not within 10 days. So I knew something was up, I just didn't know what. I called the doctors because I was concerned, but they told me on the phone that it may have been ovulation bleeding, and I knew that wasn't right just because that's never happened to me before. So it was not ovulation bleeding. So I got off the phone, and a couple days later, September 29th, I actually took a pregnancy test. And to my surprise, it came positive. I called the doctors again and let them know about my positive pregnancy test. So they gave me an appointment for October 1st. I went in, did blood work, went home, and I got a call back from one of the nurses at the doctor's office. They congratulated me and said, "Hey, you're pregnant, congratulations." I FaceTimed my husband because he was at work, and I couldn't keep that from him because he knew I was going to the doctor's. So he was gonna call me in his lunch break to ask me how everything went. So I just called him. I gave him the news through FaceTime. I still remember his face. I took a picture of the FaceTime call, and I guess through this whole journey, because I don't know, it's so rough, I totally like deleted it, so I don't have it. I wish I had it so I can insert it, but I don't. 2 days later, I had another appointment, and I went in to get more blood work done to make sure my HCG levels were rising as they should have been. So I went home, I did a couple things, and then I got a phone call. When I got that phone call, it was my doctor on the other end. Now, I know that was pretty odd because usually the nurses are the ones to call me from that clinic. So I thought that was weird already. He starts off with, "I'm sorry to let you know, your HCG actually started declining." I don't remember anything after that. I was just in so much disbelief. I didn't want to believe it. I most definitely did not want to believe that. This is important, guys. If you ever go through a miscarriage, going through a miscarriage, take your time. Grieve. It's so important to grieve. I grieved. I really did grieve. I took it so hard. This was really hard. It wasn't just hard for me. It was hard for my husband. My goodness. I think thinking about my husband breaks my heart more because I feel like he took it so much harder. I took it hard, but seeing him was so rough. It was tough. I took my moment, but I knew I had to get myself together because he was really low about the situation. So I got myself together. We allowed October 2018 to take its course. My body was just doing its cleansing and miscarrying our child. So the month of October was for that. This was hard for both of us because I didn't think me and my husband would make it. It was rough. It was so rough. It was one of the only times in our lives where it was pretty shattered. Unexpectedly. But we pulled through. We definitely pulled through. During that time, after we grieved, we sat down and we talked about our options. So we decided to kick things up a notch a little bit with medication. We decided to go with Clomid. It's a medication that actually helps you either ovulate if you don't ovulate, or if you do ovulate, you ovulate more than one egg. The medication is pretty intense. It sucks. That medication gives you all types of crazy hormones. But I dealt with it. So November and December of 2018, we did 2 more IUIs with that. Unfortunately, those 2 also were unsuccessful. After 6 months of trying with our fertility doctor, we decided to actually go with a different doctor. So our insurance only covers 6 lifetime IUIs, and we already had used up 4. So we actually went and searched for another fertility doctor. Not that there was anything wrong with my first doctor. It was just we wanted to see if maybe, someone else would recommend something different, or if there would be a better outcome with another doctor. So we just went with another doctor. The next approach that we actually did with the new doctor was injection medication. We went with the injection medication called Gyno-F. We did that for the month of April. Now, the injection is, you give yourself the injections for 8 days, in your stomach, and then the 9th day you take a trigger shot, which is another medication. The one I used was Avadril, and that one, what that does is make your eggs drop, so that way you can ovulate. On the 10th day, we went into the doctor's office and got our IUI done. So we went through our 2-week wait, end of April into May. May 7th, we were leaving to Cabo on our vacation. And that was the same day that we found out that our round didn't work. Our cycle of injections didn't work. So good thing we were going on vacation, so that brought some type of excitement. We went, we enjoyed our vacation, it was awesome. We came back rejuvenated and all. We took the rest of May that month off, obviously, because we were away. So we just enjoyed that month, and we're just gonna pick back up come June. So the waiting game was to wait for my period to start, so that I was able to call my doctors to let them know, hey, you know, every time you get your period, it's a new cycle. So I was waiting for that so I can let them know, and they can have me come in to start my baseline all over again. On May 30th, I started my menstrual. Well, so I thought I started my menstrual. I called the doctor's office so that way I can start my cycle of injections. So they did a baseline, they did all my blood work, I went home. So I got a call back from the doctors and saying that my HCG was up, meaning I was pregnant, but not to get too excited because my HCG was only at 12. So I continued to be monitored for every 2 days to see if my HCG would go up. My HCG actually went up to a 70 a couple days later and then started declining. So I got that phone call to let me know that it wasn't a viable pregnancy. Same feeling all over again, but this time scary, because I was told that the pregnancy I was going through could be an ectopic pregnancy, which, if you don't know what an ectopic pregnancy is, it can be fatal to the woman. It means that the baby, the embryo implanted, or your egg implanted somewhere else other than your uterus. And that can pretty much explode something in your fallopian tube. It can like burst. So I was monitored for a couple more days. It was determined that it was an ectopic pregnancy, thank God. So we allowed the rest of June to allow my body to cleanse itself once again. And we picked back up again in July. I know you guys are probably watching this and you guys are like, did you not have enough? This journey is so crazy that you want to keep trying. You have a goal, and your goal is to hopefully be holding a bundle of joy one day in your life. And it kind of takes over, unfortunately. So anyway, July came around and we were on our 6th IUI, meaning that was our last and final IUI that insurance will cover. So we prayed, we were determined to do this. We were like, let's do this, our last one. It's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. So we did the same injection round that we did in April. We did it again in July. So our insurance does not cover anything else because I am not diagnosed with anything wrong. So because I'm not diagnosed with anything, it will not cover anything else. That's how our insurance works. We took the rest of the summer off. It was already about to be September. I'm sorry, it was August. So we took the rest of the summer off. During this time, I also actually had quit my job at the time. I was going through too much emotional things that everything was bothering me, you know, like just it's hard. Life gets hard. Everything gets irritating. It's a feeling that I can't really explain, and you don't really know until you actually go through it and understand what 2 years of infertility by this time, that mindset that you have, it's unexplainable. So I took the summer off last year. Tried to enjoy my summer, worked on my mental health. After the end of August, September, we went back to the drawing board to figure out what we're gonna do next. What's our next step? What are we deciding? We talked about adoption. That was something that we like really were so highly about. I even contacted adoption agencies, and we were ready to I even sent emails out and started filling up paperwork for adoption. But something in my heart kept bothering me. Me and my husband always go back, we want our own kids, and and I know that adopted kids become your own kid. We just wanted our own blood. So it was still something that was just in there. IVF. IVF is something that was never even talked about. I never in a million years thought that I would be the person or a person to go through IVF. Never. I thought, I could have unexplained infertility. One of these lower methods would work. Unfortunately, 2 years later, obviously it did not. We knew that IVF is a very expensive procedure, so it's not something that we even thought about. We talked a little bit more about IVF, got a little more comfortable with the idea of it, but we wanted a reputable doctor, someone that we knew there was success. We've heard success stories or whatever the case may be. So we went back to my original doctor. He, like I said, he was great. He was a great doctor, very, sympathetic and just very genuine. So we went back to him. We said, this is our last and final. We're going to only do one round of retrieval and one round of transfer. And, we left it in God's hands. I began the IVF process in October 2019, which was with birth control. It was just to get my body on a schedule so that my body could be on a schedule for the doctor to be able to schedule my procedures. So November 5th, I started injections. I had to take 3 injections for 8 days in my stomach. I'm gonna insert a little video here for you guys to see. Now the video you guys are gonna see is only 2 of them, because you only take 2 of the injections for the first 3 days, and after the second day, on the third day, you start a third injection till you hit your 8th or 9th day. I only had to do it for 8 days. So I did my injections for 8 days. You can get the bubble up, babe. Ready?
Yep.
It's like the one from yesterday. Oh, that was awful. This is the worst. The 9th day, I had to take a trigger shot, and that was for my eggs to drop. If anybody wants me to talk about pricing or needs to know a little more information on IVF, you can private message me. I can give you details on how much we spent, how much everything cost, and I'll be more than happy to help you guys out. So November 16th was a big day. My husband and I were so excited and so nervous at the same time. We can't wait to get to the clinic, but at the same time, I was super nervous. I didn't know what was gonna go. I mean, I knew what was gonna go down, but you know, I didn't know how many eggs like they were gonna get. It's so crazy because I remember speaking to my sister, I think a couple days before, like a week before. I said, I'm hoping that we have at least like 8 eggs and we're able to freeze like 5 to 6 or something like that, I said. And so anyway, moving on. So as soon as I got there, we sat there for maybe 10 minutes, then they called me back. My husband was able to be with me right there just to talk with the nurses while I got on my gown or whatever. And then they put me to sleep. I was asleep for what it seemed like forever, but I was only asleep for like 30 minutes. The procedure, it was supposedly was a quick procedure, and everything went as it was supposed to, thank God. So they were able to get 12 eggs. 12 eggs is a good number. We were all really excited about that. The doctor was very happy with that. They called me the next day to let me know how many eggs were mature out of those 12. So 8 eggs were mature, 7 were able to fertilize with my husband's sperm. Now we did at ICSI, which is when they take the best looking sperm and insert it right into the egg. So that is the procedure that we chose to do. Now after the egg retrieval the next day, they call me every day for 5 days to let me know how my embryos were doing. By the 5th day, which was November 21st, we were able to freeze 4 beautiful embryos. It made me so happy. I was like hoping, like I said, for about 5, but 4 I took it, you know what I mean? I also didn't want to be greedy either. So embryos are graded with a number and 2 letters after. The best embryos are a 6AA. Anything with an AA pretty much is good embryos. So The quality of our embryos were 4AA, 3AA, 4AB, and 3AB. So you have two options after your egg retrieval and after the 5th day. You either can have a fresh transfer, so that 5th day on November 21st, you're able to have a transfer, which is putting the embryos inside of you, or you can have a frozen transfer, which is freezing the eggs and waiting for your next cycle or whatever cycle you would like to insert them. So some people freeze the embryos for months at a time. I just wanted a break. I just wanted a month break to let my body cleanse from all of the medication that I had just did. So the rest of November, I just let my body like just rest and detox from all the medication. So December 10th. We woke up that morning and we prayed, and we're so happy. We were on our way to the doctor's office. It was early. It was pretty early. I think it was like, it's early for me because I'm not a morning person, so it was like 7 o'clock in the morning. We decided to transfer 2 beautiful embryos back in because we had been through so much already. We didn't want to go through any extra heartbreaks or anything, so we decided to transfer 2 in hopes that, you know, if one didn't make it, at least we had the other one to make it. We didn't know what was gonna happen, so we transferred 2 of them to have the best opportunity to have a baby. December 14th. It was a Saturday morning. And it was just 4 months ago, but no, I'm sorry. Yeah, it was 4 months ago. I was getting ready for work, and I took a pregnancy test. It was my thing. 4 days later, I took a pregnancy test because I just couldn't wait. So I took a pregnancy test anyway, and it was positive. Yay. So I was so excited. I got ready. I went to work. Even the girls at work were like, you seem like extra happy today. So they were the first ones to find out because I was just way too excited to like keep it in. So I had about a 6-hour shift, so I didn't get out till 6. As soon as I got out, I came home. I already had a little onesie that I had bought like 2 years ago to give to my husband when one day, like this day, and I'll insert a picture of it. And I prepped it with the pregnancy test. I took another pregnancy test when I got home from work, and I prepped it and I gave it to him. So unfortunately, I was unable to. I went to record me giving the box to my husband, and unfortunately, I set everything up. You know, super excited about it. I never pressed record. Really? Yeah, I never pressed record. So, never have that footage. Kind of sucks. But he was really happy. We were really happy. I think he was in like disbelief. It was like a reaction that he was happy but couldn't believe it. Wasn't like sure. But anyway, December 16th, which was that Monday, I went to the doctor's because I was due for an appointment anyway, because they wanted to check my blood work that week anyway, every other day. So I did let them know that I took a pregnancy test and that it was positive. So they called me back with my results, and it was, my HCG was 149. I've never went past the 70s in my HCG, so I was over the moon with my HCG level at 149. And yes, it was confirmed at the doctor's office. We were really excited. Came back home, enjoyed my day, and then December 27th, 2 days after Christmas, we got to see our 2 little beans, and they're growing. It was so surreal. They both survived. They were both in there, and it was just like, oh my God, we're gonna have twins. So crazy. What a freaking blessing. Whew. It was long awaited, and I'm so happy and so blessed that this moment came, and we're like 3 to 4 months away from holding our little beans, and I can't wait. I really can't wait. But so again, for anyone out there who is struggling, keep going. You're a miracle, baby. What happened? I pray to God that it happens. I think everyone deserves to enjoy this this journey of growing to human. Not, you mean, if you don't want no twins, that's okay, but at least growing a human inside of you. I think the process of becoming a mother is freaking cool, and I hope you get your miracle, baby. Well, guys, this concludes my video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope that I didn't talk too much or your ears off. If you stayed through the whole video, thank you. I also want to let you guys know that I did start a YouTube channel that I started it all for this. For the most part, it was going to be about infertility. I'm really annoyed at myself that I didn't start this sooner, because I wanted to. But as you're going through that whole process, it's not something you even want to think about. I don't know how women record themselves through the process. Like, I just never really had the strength to do so. So kudos to you guys. But anyway, if you like my video, please like, and you can really help me out by just subscribing. That would be great. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Bye. Oh, so I actually wanted to give you guys a little peek at my bump. So here's my boys hanging in there during quarantine, kicking me like crazy. But I love every second of it. Here's my babes. Bye, guys.